Today's topic is excretion. It is one of the topic of NCERT class 10 science chapter 6 life process. So we have completed the earlier topics digestion, respiration, and now it is excretion. So what is excretion? What's excretion? Excretion is the actually the removal of all the unwanted material from our body, unwanted wastes. So definition, let's see what is the definition written. It is the biological process involved in the removal of harmful metabolic wastes. So the biological process involved in the removal of harmful metabolic wastes from the body is called excretion. So what are metabolic wastes? That we must know. So what are metabolic wastes? When we have studied in respiration, let's go back to respiration. So we have seen that during respiration or during the digestion of glucose, what happens during the digestion of glucose? Glucose is broken down into carbon dioxide, water, and energy. So energy is used by the body. Water is also essential. But carbon dioxide, what about it? The carbon dioxide is not required by our body. So carbon dioxide is therefore then eliminated from our body. And how will this carbon dioxide get eliminated? It is a metabolic waste, so it has to get eliminated. So it will be eliminated with the help of our lungs. So the lungs will exchange carbon dioxide and it will give oxygen, and this oxygen will be then used by our tissues. So that is respiration. So carbon dioxide, which is a metabolic waste, is removed from our body with the help of respiration. But what about other food components? Our body is not only dependent on glucose, but we also need other food components like proteins, fats, etc. So what about the metabolic wastes produced from proteins? So we have seen that during the digestion, we have seen that proteins are converted to amino acids. So amino acids are nitrogen containing compounds. Okay, amino acids, these formula have nitrogen in it. So the nitrogen containing compounds which are produced as a result of digestion of proteins, that is a metabolic waste, and that metabolic waste needs to be removed, and that is done by our kidneys. So let's see. Yes, so nitrogenous waste such as urea is the nitrogenous waste that is produced as a result of digestion of proteins. So urea, or it is also called uric acid. So urea or uric acid, these things are removed by our body with the help of the kidneys. So let's see how the kidneys do that. Before that, we must also know that unicellular organisms do not need specialized organs like us. They do not have kidneys and all that in case of unicellular organism, of course, because they are just unicellular. So how they will do excretion? They will do just simply diffusion. In case of multicellular organism, specialized organs are required, and that are the kidneys. Now excretion is not done by kidneys just alone. The kidneys are helped by different parts. So the complete system which carries out the process of excretion, that complete system is known as the excretory system. The excretory system contains four major things. First are the kidneys. There is a pair of kidney, one kidney either side of the backbone. Then we have a pair of ureter. These are the two pipes that collects the urine from the kidney, and this ureters then joins and enters the urinary bladder. The urinary bladder contains the urine. it holds the urine until we get the urge to urinate, and finally with the help of the urethra, the urine is passed out of the body. So where are the kidneys present? The kidneys are located at the abdomen area on either side of the backbone. Now this is simple, but we must also study now what are the processes going on inside the kidney. How does kidney filters out the toxins, the drugs, the nitrogenous wastes? How does kidneys do that? So the inside process, the biological process that is going on inside the kidneys, that is to be studied next. So inside the kidneys, we have millions of such structures. What is this? This is called as a nephron. This is the structure of a nephron. You see, in the nephron we have a Bowman's capsule, a glomerulus, and this is the collecting duct. And these are all capillaries. These are all arteries. This is the renal artery. So this is the structure of a nephron. This is just one nephron. Inside the kidneys there are millions of such structures. So this is the kidney, and inside the kidneys there are millions of such structures, and these structures are actually the basic filtration unit which filters out all the toxins from our body. Now so it is written here, see, each kidney has large numbers of these filtration units called nephrons packed close together. Now let's see what happens inside nephron. At first, look at this. This is the renal artery. This is the renal artery. This renal artery brings the metabolic waste containing blood inside the kidneys, and the renal arteries, this is also a renal artery, is a branch of a renal artery. This is a branch. So the renal artery, when it enters the nephron or when it enters the kidney, it then divides into very small minute capillaries. So this portion, which is actually a bundle of capillaries, this portion is called as glomerulus. Why? Because this is actually a bundle of capillaries. Okay, so there are large number of fine, very thin walled capillaries here, because then only our filtration will be very fine, if we have very fine walled or thin walled capillaries. And this glomerulus is placed where it is hold the glomerulus is placed in the Bowman's capsule. That is, Bowman's capsule holds the glomerulus. It is placed in the Bowman's capsule. So the Bowman's capsule holds the glomerulus. So now the first filtration starts here at glomerulus, and after the filtration, whatever is produced, the filtrate, that is called as the urine. Okay, the filtrate then passes down the pipe, and then it gets collected in the collecting duct. But this is not so simple. When this filtrate, or you can also say it as urine, when it passes down the whole journey, it takes place. So during this whole journey, many things are going on. At first, if by chance, if in the filtrate, what are the things that is to be present in the filtrate? The nitrogenous wastes, drugs and toxins, all those unnecessary things must be present in the filtrate, and all the necessary things should not be filtered out. Okay, that should be present in the blood capillaries only. But sometimes what happens, some necessary particles also get filtered out, like glucose, amino acids, salts. If these are also inside the filtrate, that is, if these are also present inside the urine, this is urine. So if these are also present in the urine, then they must be reabsorbed by our body, because those are necessary. Glucose, amino acids, salts, those are all necessary substances. So these substances gets absorbed, or shall I say reabsorbed. So these substances gets reabsorbed by our body during this journey. When this journey is taking place, the glucose, amino acids, salts, that gets reabsorbed by our body. How will they get reabsorbed? So see here, these are the blood capillaries. The renal artery is present here. So renal artery is here also. So whatever glucose or amino acids are present here, that gets reabsorbed by the blood capillaries. Okay, so it gets reabsorbed. And if anything is present here in the blood capillaries, if there is present toxins or nitrogen, or salts, so those salts are also gets inside the nephron. That means whatever is needed by our nephron will go inside nephron. Whatever is needed by our body will go inside the renal artery. So the exchange process takes place here also. No matter, of course, the basic filtrations is going on here, but some exchanges of salts and water are also taking place here. Basically, you see, large amount of water are also reabsorbed. For example, if this filtration produces a very large quantity of quantity of water, then this quantity of water, if it goes and makes your urine, then you have to urinate every minute, I think. But this doesn't happen. So the body does what? The body reabsorbs this water from the urine into the renal artery. So this depends. If the body contains lots of water, then it will not reabsorb. But if the body is lacking in water, then from the nephron, water will get reabsorbed into the blood capillary. And finally, whatever urine gets produced as a result of all this absorption and reabsorption, all these processes, after all this process, whatever urine gets produced, that gets collected in the collecting duct, and then the collecting duct joins the ureter. Here is the ureter. So the collecting duct must be present here somewhere, and the ureter is joining the kidneys here. So the collecting duct joins the ureter, and the ureter then joins the urinary bladder. Here the urine is stored for some time until the muscle contracts. When the pressure of, that means when the urinary bladder gets filled with urine, then the urinary bladder will contract. The muscle will send all those nerve uh, signal to our brain, and then the throughout the urethra, it will go out from the body. That is what is excretion. So that's all in excretion. Thank you.